game up hard hydration. It's like your favorite sports drink and your favorite seltzer got together, had a baby, but it's so much better. 4 great flavors. Dave's going to give you the stats.
Hey, you talking about variety. We got to talk about fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Guys, like Joe said, or didn't say because I was too busy sharing, 110 calories, low carb. Get yourself some Game Up because it's the hottest fucking game drink around. I'm so excited. Let's go, baby. Yes.
You know, one of the typical WWE Big Four events, SummerSlam in Cleveland. When I told my brother it was this weekend, he was surprised it came up so quickly because he thought it was usually late August.
It usually is.
I was surprised that it came up so quick too, but I'm ready for this because there's like 5-6 matches on this thing and they're all built up huge.
This is a 7-match pay-per-view.
And let's go through them because I believe almost every match is built up huge.
Damian Priest versus Gunther for the Raw World title. Gunther, King of the Ring. And he got this title shot back a couple months ago at SummerSlam automatically. So we've already established Gunther as the greatest Intercontinental Champion. He was the force behind NXT UK for the longest time. You cannot say enough great things about how WWE has pushed and built up Gunther. Now, in this feud, Damian Priest, the Raw World Championship, he's only had it for a couple months here, but, we've been establishing him. And now Gunther being this heel, calling him street trash. I talked about this last week, but really picking it up a notch with almost like this aristocrat. Gunther comes from wealth, and Damian Priest is less than him, right? And I think it really adds a little something personal to this. I'm excited. I think this can go either way because we know Gunther, they have that pay-per-view in Germany, and I could very well see Damian Priest winning here and Gunther winning the title in Germany. I personally hope they don't go that route. I hope Gunther wins here, and I hope he comes back to a hero's welcome as the world champion in Germany because I think there's some really cool stuff they could do there.
I think it's going to go the way you don't want it to go. Somehow Gunther is going to get cost the match, and we're going to get the rematch in Germany. Will it be Judgment Day? Who knows? But I feel like Damian Priest is going to get the win.
All right, next match I got is Bayley versus Nia Jax. The one match that a friend of mine said he won't show up on. Nia Jax gets a lot of hate, but I think she's actually been a decent heel since coming back. They've been very careful about how they book her. She's been the queen of the ring. This is one match with Bayley. I'm probably not hugely excited for, though, because styles make matches. And I think Nia does better when she can really beat up somebody, throw someone around, and bounce them around a lot. Not that she can't do that for Bayley, but I just don't feel like this is going to be the match I'm looking forward to the most. That being said, I got to go with Bayley here because I think we have Tiffany Stratton teasing that Money in the Bank cash in at some point. Maybe we get it here. I don't know. But I think Tiffany will be the one to eventually get this title off.
Yeah, my first thought when you said Nia Jax was I was like, oh, God, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, I see Bayley getting the win. This has got to be the least exciting of the matches, but there is build-up because of that Queen of the Ring win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. And this match has been built up, it feels like forever. Since after WrestleMania, when Rhea got injured by Liv, accidental or not, it happened, and they've turned it into a storyline. And it's like arguably the hottest storyline in the company. And like, if you're not really into that soap opera element, I get it. But man, people are reacting hard to this. And I feel like we know what's going to happen here, but we still want to see it like a great car wreck, right? Like Dom is going to help Liv turn on Rhea, and they're going to keep Liv as the champion. That's what I see happening. I think people are going to react huge. I think they're going to boo Liv and Dom out of the building, but I think they're going to be the hottest heel couple in WWE right now.
And that's even hotter than Dom and Rhea had been before that. And it's wild because I heard on another wrestling podcast, and I had forgot this. Did you remember that Liv and Rhea had teamed before Rhea left Liv for the Judgment Day?
Man, I totally forgot about that. Rhea left Liv, right?
I didn't remember it. And then when I heard that, I'm like, oh, wow. So this story's gone back even farther than we realize. And that's something that makes modern WWE that much better.
I like it. Cody Rhodes defending the world championship against Solo Sikoa. I'm going to say I'm okay about this match. It has been built up. They've been really building up the bloodline, but I feel like the focus has been on Jacob Fatu in the bloodline. And I feel like beyond that, the other focus is, when is Roman come back? We're hearing that, when's Paul coming back? So I feel like this match is almost like a foregone conclusion. Like, we know Cody's keeping the title. It's the aftermath we're more curious about. And this is just a stop. So no offense to Solo, but that's just how I feel. I got to go with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it's going to be Cody. There could be some kind of fuckery involved, but it's going to result in the return of Roman, Paul, and let's say Jimmy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if we'll get all of them, but I definitely think we're going to be building towards that. And hey, just throw this out there. Another possibility, too, that people may not be thinking about. Maybe Roman's not coming back yet. Maybe Cody beats Solo, and he's like, I beat the head of table, and then The Rock comes out. Not saying that's happening either. Rock's a busy man, but I think it's a possibility. We got Logan Paul defending the United States champion against LA Knight. Does LA Knight get it done here? I feel like in a lot of ways it's time, but I also feel like we're in Cleveland. This is Logan Paul's, city. And I don't know if they're going to take the title off him. Yeah, I'm kind of split on this one. I'm going to go with LA Knight, though. I think LA Knight gets the title now.
I want LA Knight to win it. Logan Paul is just such a commodity for WWE that having that championship on him has done so much for them, and to be able to show the brand off. In my stomach, I want LA Knight, but I feel like it's going to be Logan Paul.
I think you're right. I went with my heart, but I'm going to stick with my heart. We're going to go Logan Paul. LA Knight. I'll disagree on that one. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. I love Sammy, but this is Braun's title now. This is going to be Braun. Like, you could have argued he should have took it in Montreal on Money in the Bank. They wanted to keep it on Sammy for a bit, but Braun has been explosive. He's got the best spear in the business. I think it's his time. He's walking away with that championship.
It's funny because I feel a little bit of that 50-50 that I talked about from the Logan Paul LA Knight match, but I'm more of the opinion that, right with you, that this is Braun Breaker's time. The back and forth in this feud has really built up Sammy to be a champion worth Braun taking down. We've seen how resilient Sammy is. And the great thing about him is he can move on to the next thing, and it doesn't hurt Sammy as much as Braun not winning the title could hurt him.
So I said earlier, arguably the hottest match and the biggest build and the biggest feud in the company is Liv and Rhea Ripley. This is the other argument. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and again, a similar situation where someone was injured, but they kept talking and they kept building, and they'd have these little moments where Punk cost Drew McIntyre the title at Mania after he won it, allowed Damien to do the cash-in. Then he ruined Drew's cash-in at Money in the Bank. And there's been moments where Drew beats the hell out of Punk, right? Leaves him laying, takes that bracelet. He's still showing that bracelet with his wife and his dog's name on it. And Drew's been absolutely probably one of the greatest internet trolls of all time, arguably, with some of the work he's been doing on Twitter with pictures of Jack Perry and all the other stuff he's doing. It's incredible the way they've built this up. And now we got Seth Rollins as a referee. I heard somebody say this a while before Seth was announced referee, how much they've been borrowing from Brett and Shawn in 97. And when I see that now, I go, oh, this reminds me, Undertaker, Bret Hart, SummerSlam 97, Shawn Michaels was the ref. Brett and Shawn get into it. Shawn takes a chair away from Brett. Brett spits in Shawn's face. Shawn goes to hit Brett with a chair. Brett ducks. He clocks the Undertaker. Brett covers the Undertaker. Shawn begrudgingly makes the pin. I see a similar situation happening here. I don't know if I was going to say it's exact, but I see that happening. I'm going to go with Seth accidentally causes CM Punk the match, because we've already seen Seth and Drew go at it, and I think that's going to set up a Seth Punk rivalry. So I'm going with that. I'm going to say Seth accidentally cost Punk. Drew will get the win, and we're going to be off to the races with Punk and Seth next.
That makes a lot of sense. I forget which podcast it was I was listening to this week. Might have been Between the Sheets, but they were talking about the legitimate hate between Punk and Drew McIntyre. Maybe not hate, but the dislike, and how they've been able to make it work into something, and how that was something that AEW had missed the boat with. And it's really made this this build up to this match so intense and so interesting. I saw Seth costing somebody the match, and I'm gonna have to agree with the way you laid it out because that sounds right. It's an homage to wrestling of the past, which we know at least Punk is very into.
Yeah.
I would assume Drew as well.
I bet you Drew.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's our WrestleMania. I mean, that's our SummerSlam card.
If you haven't tried Game Up, then you are missing out. Imagine your favorite seltzer and your favorite sports drink had a baby, but it's way better than that. Each can is 110 calories, low carb, 4.9 ABV. It's a nice light drink that is not light on flavor. Game Up comes in fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Pick it up at drinkgameup.com or at your nearest liquor store.